Okay, it's that time again. We're gonna start on the ground. Oh my gosh. Somebody start the tally. The mic is going haywire. Okay. We're still focusing on progressions today, so each movement will kind of build off of one another. Highly encouraging to take the tempo pace, the slower pace. We want to keep that mind and muscle connection. Time over tension is what helps us build muscles in the long run, so you don't want to speed through every single movement. I will try my best not to speed through every single movement, but sometimes I do because I get excited. The short word for horribly in pain with all of the pulses that we like to do sometimes. I promise today's not too bad. We do have a big focus on inner thighs. This will be the first class this session that we introduce the ball. It'll be either your best friend or your worst enemy, so let's pick sides later. Other than that, same as always, if anything's too difficult, feel free to take a modification, ask me for a modification. Always feel welcome to take a break in the middle of a movement. There are times where even I take a break, so definitely don't be afraid to do that. Take a drink of water, go at your own pace, make sure that you're doing what feels good for your body today. Everybody's kind of at their own skill level starting out. We're still on week 2, so just take care of yourself. We're gonna go ahead and get started on our back. Just go ahead and pull your knees to your chest. Give them a nice hug. If you have a watch, don't forget to start it. I know I always do. We just pull the knees close to your chest. Feel free to rock side to side here. Relaxing your central nervous system. Take a deep breath. We're going to go ahead and extend the left leg. Give that right knee a nice pull to your chest. You can still rock side to side here. Draw the knee in little circles. Just warm up the hips. Focusing on that breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to pull that knee across our chest to the left. Cactus out your right arm and look over your right shoulder. Just feeling a nice twist through the spine. Nice static stretch. Again, breathing here. Inhale, looking for length. Exhale, trying to twist a little bit deeper. Making sure our shoulder is still planted on the floor here. And let's come back to center. Pull that knee close to your chest one last time. Give a few circles. Feel a nice stretch. And let's switch legs. Go ahead and extend the right leg out. Pull the left knee in. We're starting really slow today. Getting a nice, gentle, short warm-up. Feel free to circle that knee again. Might look for a point of tension through your muscles. And just hold there. Wait for that muscle to release. When you're ready, we're going to pull that knee across our chest again to the right. Go ahead and cactus out your left arm and look over your left shoulder. Shoulder still stays planted on the mat. Looking for a nice twist through the lower back. Inhale for length. Exhale to deepen that twist. Another deep breath in. Let's come back to center. Give those knees one last big hug. Rock side to side before we get started with our glute bridge series for today. Getting right into the workout. Let's go ahead and grab the ball. If you have it close to you, we're going to put the ball between our thighs. Really important that it's between the thighs and not your knees. We want full activation. We're going to keep tension between our legs with that ball the entire time. We're going to roll all the way down. Feel free to have your weights handy if you do choose to use them today. Our legs are going to stay on the ground, so our feet are going to be hip distance apart, but you want your heels close enough to your glutes to where you can touch them. Hopefully, again, chronic tension on that ball, you should be able to feel your inner thighs working. We're going to extend our arms up and overhead, really looking for length, keeping those arms long. We're going to tilt our pelvic floor up and in, round out the spine, and carefully start to lift your hips high up to the ceiling. Round out the spine, rolling vertebra by vertebra all the way down, and connect that low back with the mat. Go ahead and keep doing this. Rolling each vertebra up, press through those glutes, squeeze the ball. Really activating through the core here as well. Slow and in control. Palms should be facing each other. Really making sure we're focusing on rolling that spine as we lift and as we lower, fully articulating the spinal cord here. Only about 2 more, really just trying to get a hold of what this movement is doing, engaging the muscles. Last one. We're gonna fully keep those hips straight, hinging here, and we're just gonna go into our pelvic floor taps. So instead of rounding out the spine, we're just gonna gently tap our tailbone down to the ground and press back up. You should be feeling a little bit more activation in your glutes here. Adding that hinge, using your breath, slow and in control. Really squeezing those glutes at the top. See if you can lift your hips a little bit higher to the ceiling. Go ahead and do 2 more. Really press through those heels, squeeze the glutes. Last one, let's layer on a little chest press. So our palms are gonna be facing away from us. We're gonna lower, and as we lift those glutes, we're gonna lower down our elbows. And as we lower the glutes again, we'll press. Still keeping that same motion, still squeezing through the inner thighs. Using that breath. Let's do 3 more. Last one, let's lift. Keep those arms lifted as well. We're gonna internally rotate our palms so that they're facing each other. And we're gonna add a little tricep extension, lift the heels. Coming back through center, lower back down in that glute bridge. Press through the heels, squeeze the glutes, lift the heels, lower into a tricep extension. Again, we're just keeping a nice steady pace. Make sure we still have full pressure on that ball. As we get into these heel raises, you might need to walk your heels a little bit closer to your glutes, just so you feel a little less activation through those hamstrings. Good job, everybody. About 3 more. Last one. Let's hold high in that glute bridge. We're just going to do some tricep extensions. Heels stay lifted. Keep those arms strong. Should be feeling the backs of your arms activating here. Still keeping a nice amount of pressure on that ball. Really working the inner thighs here as well. Make sure you're engaging through the core as well, protecting your lower back. If your lower back is hurting, try engaging the core just a little bit more if you can. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold those arms up. All we're going to do here is keep our heels lifted still. We're going to go down for a glute bridge. Lift back up and do a squeeze on the ball. Lowering down through the glute bridge, press back up, heels stay lifted, and squeeze. Glutes should be burning by now. Might be waking up the inner thighs a little bit more than you have ever. Four more. 3, 2. Last one. Let's add in that tricep extension as we squeeze the ball. Full glute bridge, lift, squeeze, and a tricep extension. If this is too difficult for you at any point, feel free to lower the heels if that's getting too hard. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold in that glute bridge. We're just going to squeeze and do that tricep extension. Holding steady at the top. Slow and in control. You might be taking a 2 count here. Lower for 2. Lift for 2. Same pace down that we go up. You have 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold those arms extended. Keep that squeeze on the ball, and we're just going to pulse it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering all the way down. Give yourself a nice break. Take about 15 to 20 seconds here. Just let yourself relax before we get into the core segment for today. Feel free to get a drink of water if you need one. And when you're ready, we'll meet back. Again, the ball will still stay between our thighs here. We're going to use those weights, lowering all the way down onto our back, keeping that same tension through the ball, lifting our arms up and overhead, really looking for length through our arms here, keeping them long. Gonna take one deep breath in, and on that exhale, we're gonna ripple our spine all the way up, coming into a slow crunch, lowering back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You've got it. Trying to roll each row of your abdominals. Just about activating the core here. Nothing too crazy, just want to wake up the abs. Four more. Three. Two. Last one. This time we're gonna hold in that upright crunched position. See if you can add a little leg lift as well. Drop them back down and ripple back onto your spine. So we're rolling each row of our abdominals up, adding a double leg lift, lower back down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift, leg lift. Inhale, lower. Four, three. Two. Last one, let's hold in that crunch position, and we're just gonna lift the legs. Same movement. It's really just about control here. Keeping those deep breaths. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold those legs in that reverse tabletop position. Well, let's go straight into that slow crunch. You may have noticed that the weights help you lift here, so use that weight to your advantage. It doesn't mean to swing yourself forward. Just means that it should help you change your center of gravity as you lift and squeeze through your abdominals. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're gonna slow crunch up, and we're gonna extend those legs all the way out. Rebend and fall back down. Exhale, lift, extend those legs. Inhale, rebend, and lower back down. You've got it. Really getting into those lower abdominals here. See if you can lift your chest a little bit higher. If your lower back is starting to hurt, make sure you're not dropping your legs as low. You want to keep your lower back fully pressed against the mat, keeping all of that control in the core here. 6 more. for 3, 2, squeezing that ball. Last one, let's lift, hold in that crunch position. We're just gonna extend and rebend the knees. Might have a little shake here. It's okay. You've got it. Just keep breathing. Slow and in control. 4, 3, 2, last one, ending with a little bit of a burner. Keep those legs extended and just pulse the ball. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those legs. Set those weights to the side. Give yourself a nice break. Again, about 15 to 20 seconds. Feel free to get a drink of water. Do whatever you need. You made it through core. We are halfway done with class today. When you're ready, we'll meet back in a kneeling position here. The ball's gonna go between our knees again. That's just because it'll leave more stability for our lower back in that kneeling position. Go ahead and grab your weights if you have them already. So we get set up for the next portion. I like to prop myself up on my toes. If you want to, you can always sit on your heels as well. Ideally, we'd have a little bit of a hover between our glutes and the heels of our feet, just so that we're making sure we're activating through the glutes as well. Take another deep breath in. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of a shoulder press here, keeping those dumbbells by our shoulders or those weights by our shoulders. Exhale, lift, press. Inhale, lower, send those hips back. Still squeezing through the glutes, but we really wanna focus on bracing through our core. Slow and in control. As we lift, make sure you're tucking that pelvic floor up and underneath. Tuck that tailbone. Bracing through the abdominals. Only a couple more. Really making sure we're focusing on that hinge motion as well through the hips. Six more. Really firing up the arms, the shoulders, the back. This movement really does hit the biceps, the shoulders, back, and core. It's a really good movement for a full body aspect. About 2 more, and then we'll add on to it, activating the backs of our arms a little bit. So last one, we're reaching all the way up. Find that press. Inhale, lower, and we're gonna add a little bit of a tricep extension at the bottom. Keep those hips hinged. Bring the weights back to our shoulders. Exhale, lift, and press. Just keep that breath. Slow, steady, controlled movements. And those tricep extensions, see if you can lengthen through those arms a little bit more. Pinkies to the ceiling. 4 more. Last one. Let's send those arms back. Holding in that hinged position, we're just going to do that tricep extension. Just keep breathing. You've got it. For 4, 3, 2. Last one. Let's bring our arms back in. We're flipping our palms up to the ceiling, and on that exhale, we're going to lift those hips, come into a full serving platter. Inhale, squeeze the elbows back to our sides, and hinge again. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hinge. Really hovering those glutes over our heels here. You've got 6 more. Keeping a slight micro bend through the elbows. 4, 3, 2. Last one. We're going to add on now, so come into that serving platter. Flip those palms to the floor and back up. We're hinging down. Exhale, lift, champagne pour, and hinge. We're here for 8. Really following your breath. 5. 4. 3. Staying lifted through our chest. Last one. Let's hold lifted. We're just doing a champagne pour. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Can you leave those arms folded for 6, 5, 4, 3. We're on a slow count today. 2, 1. And drop those weights. Arms are done for the day. You will not need those weights anymore. Go ahead and take a 15 to 20 second break, and we'll meet back up in standing for the best leg workout you've probably had all week. Honestly, me too. Highly encourage you to take breaks whenever you need it. This one does get pretty tough just because we're staying in a lunge position for so long. All we're gonna do is I want you to start by planting all of your weight in your left leg. You want a lot of your weight to kind of sit in that heel if you want a glute workout, but if you want to focus more on the quads, you'll keep a little bit more of a bend and have that knee sit between your toes and your heel. We're gonna lift our right heel up and off the mat. Squeeze that ball in front of you. We're gonna keep it pressed to our chest the whole time here. We're gonna send those hips back to a squat position and lift up. Super simple, just working on activating through the left side of our body here. Minimal weight through those toes. Using that breath. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press up. For 3, 2, last one. We're gonna send the hips back. Find that lunge. We're gonna add on here. We're gonna step our left foot back in a hovering lunge. So we want minimal weight in those back toes. We're gonna extend the ball up and overhead, activating through the back here. We're gonna tap the toes in and stand back up. So really breaking it down into its individual steps. Use that breath, finding length, really focusing on having that weight in that front working leg. Squat, length, bring the ball in, and stand. Six more. And then we will again be adding on to this movement, just so that we really feel the burn in our left leg today. For 3, 2, last one. We're gonna lower into that lunged position. This time I want you to take that ball in your left hand, maneuver it underneath your front working leg, switch to the other hand, meet back in center. Step in, lift back to standing. So we're just adding that reach around with the ball. Bringing the upper body into it here. Keep using that breath. Remember, it's definitely okay to take breaks here. If you need a breath, if you need a drink of water, go ahead and grab one. 3 more. 2. Last one. We're gonna hold in that lunge. Again, minimal weight in those toes, and we're just wrapping the ball around. Use that breath. You've got it. Three, 2, 1. We're gonna add a little bit of a scooter here. So we're gonna pass that ball, and as we pass it forward, we're gonna tap in, extend out, pass the ball again. Length and pass. Really getting into a burn. We only have about 2 movements left after this. You've got it. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, keep that back leg there. We're gonna pulse it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, give yourself a break. Shake out that leg. We have 15 to 20 seconds yet again. And then we're sending it all the way over to the right side, because we really need to give that left side a break. Good job. We're almost done with class today. Last little segment. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. Let's go ahead and put all of your weight in that right front leading leg. We're lifting our left heel up and off the ground now, so we don't have to put any more weight in it. We're gonna hold the ball directly in front of us. We're just gonna go back into that squat. Send those hips back. Pressing through the glute and the quads. all of that weight in your right foot. Just keep that deep breath. For 3, 2. Last one, let's add in that ball reach. Step back in and lift to standing. Squat, step back and reach. Step in, press up. Really breaking it down into its individual steps. Slowing it down. Focusing on that right leg engagement. We're here for 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. We're going to put the ball through the right hand now and swing it under. So we're just sweeping underneath. Bring the leg forward. Come back to standing. Step back. Sweep. Squat. Standing. For 3. 2. Last one. Holding in that lunge, we're just going to do that ball pass. For 5, 4, 3, minimal weight in those back toes. 2, 1, we're gonna add that scooter. Step in, step back, pass the ball. Step in, step back, pass the ball. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, almost done, you've got it. 1, hold in that lunge, and we're gonna end with that burner of a pulse. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back to standing. Let's take a nice break, shake out the legs before we get into that stretch. Good job, everybody. Oh my gosh. We'll catch our breath later. We're gonna end with some standing reaches. Just go ahead, just find a light bend through the knees. Inhale, lift up through the fingertips. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, lift. Expanding through the chest, send that air to the lungs and the belly. Just slowing down the breathing. Last one, we're gonna fully fall over those knees, finding a nice forward fold. Feel free to hook onto either elbow. And just let yourself sway from side to side. Link through the spine. Take another deep breath. Try to bring your palms to the floor. We're going to bend our right knee. Lift up through the left arm, reaching through the fingertips. Opening the upper thoracic region. And exhale, taking it to the other side. Bend that left knee, Lift through our right hand. Coming back to center. One more on each side. Lift. And lower. Last one. Coming back down to that forward fold. We're going to step our feet back or walk our hands forward till we get to a little downward dog. We'll start by pedaling out our feet, alternate lifting either heel, bending those knees, feeling a nice stretch to the backs of our legs. When you're ready, we'll step our left foot to the outside of our left hand, gently lowering down onto that back knee. Go ahead and just hold here for a nice stretch. And if you feel so inclined, you may push your knee outward just to feel a little bit more of a hip stretch going on. And if you really want to deepen the stretch, you can always lift up that back leg and reach for that foot. Really just focusing on keeping some nice deep breaths here. Feel free to drop that back leg. We're going to step our foot to the other side of the mat and gently lower down into a pigeon pose. Make sure you're not shifting your weight from side to side. We want our hips to be parallel to the wall in front of us and the floor beneath us. And as you adjust to the stretch, you can always walk your hands a little bit further. Just make sure you're not rounding out through the spine. We really want to focus on having that stretch in our left glute because we worked it so hard today and it deserves to be stretched. Let's take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're walking our hands back, curling our right toes up and underneath, stepping back with that left leg, finding that downward facing dog. We'll do that same little flow for the other side. So go ahead and take that right leg, step it all the way to the outside of your right hand. Back knee gently rests into the mat. Feel free to stay here in this stretch, or you can put your palm to the inside of your right knee and just push outward. Rolling on to the outside of your right foot. Remember, you have the option to lift that back leg and reach. Take another deep breath in. Go ahead and let go of that back foot. We're going to heel toe that right leg all the way to the other side of the mat. Gently lower down, finding a pigeon pose. Slowly walking our hands a little bit further forward. One more big deep breath in. Go ahead and walk your hands all the way back. We're going to roll onto that right glute. Coming into that seated position. Feel free to cross the legs, or you can put them in a butterfly pose. We're going to reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace those fingertips. Press the palms through the ceiling. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, gently bending over to the right. Trying to keep that chest lifted as far as you can to the ceiling. You don't want to fully bend over. You really want to focus on staying lifted through the right side of your body as you stretch the left. Inhale, we'll come back through center. And exhale, gently fall over to the left. Another deep breath in, up through center, unhook those hands. We'll interlace them behind us. One final stretch, lift up through heart center. Rolling out the neck, gently bringing the ears to either shoulder. One more deep breath in. And exhale. That's all I have for you guys today. Feel free to stay and stretch, but I look forward to seeing you all again on Thursday. Other than that, hopefully your glutes are fine tomorrow, and have a good night.